Hi everyone, my name is Karen Hamner and I teach 6th grade at La Honda. Today I hope to share with you my YouTube journey and how I finally ended up with ScreenCastify and EdPuzzle. This has been a crazy ride and I think you can probably relate. This is my face after the 5th computer problem in the first 15 minutes. Before we had any directive as to how this was going to work out, I started thinking about how I could engage my 6th graders. 6th graders are 12-year-olds. They're in between being little kids and big kids, and sometimes it's difficult for them to really understand what they even want. So finally, I went, oh, YouTube. They all want to be YouTubers when they grow up, so let's give that a shot. This is attempt number 1. I went in full force, full commitment, and yeah, epic fail, as my students would say. Check out how boring this is. Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Hamner, and so I'm going to go through Unit 6, Lesson 1 for math with you right now. The object of this, the point of this, is to distinguish between multiplication and addition in tape diagrams. So if you take out your packet and you look at Unit 6, Lesson 1, you have this. Don't you love how my arm is in the way? After my first video, I sent it to my daughter-in-law who works for VIP Kids. VIP Kids is an online schooling for English. And so I thought maybe because she deals with online anyway, she would have a good idea of how to make this better. So she suggested that I wanted to have my screen more straight on. So I rearranged my house and came up with this.
Okay, so number 4. Number 4 is what we just did a second ago. The only thing I want to add is that when you're looking at a multiplication equation, use the coefficient to decide on the number of boxes. So if I look at A, I have 2A equals 4.6.
Don't you love how now my whole body is in the way? After consulting with my husband about how to get a shot that didn't involve getting in the way, my husband designed a really great phone holder for me. So that's solved.
All right, Unit 6, Lesson 3.3. So in this particular one, they're not breaking these up. Remember a minute ago we had 3 ones, or we had 6 ones over here. So now they're just giving you...
And yeah, still just as boring. So where does ScreenCastify fit in with all this? And what exactly is it? Well, this is it. It's me in the corner of the Google slide presentation. I think our students seeing us, watching all of our idiosyncrasies is important. And the previous slides that I did just a second ago, I just did vocals because I didn't want to block the content. So that's an option with this as well. What I'd like to do right now is get you set up with ScreenCastify. So here's the link. You should be able to click on it. If you can't click on it, then copy it and paste it into a new window. It will install as a Chrome extension, so you'll need to follow the prompts. Yours won't say already installed, so you can choose to log in as Google, which is going to be the easiest. Once you're through the Google stuff, you can go for, you should open the school heading at the top right. Let me circle that for you. This is a nifty tool. Once you open the For School menu, this is where you'll end up. And there's also at the bottom of this a link to that in case you get lost somehow. And you should be able to do the same thing, either click on this or copy it and paste it. If you scroll down, to the bottom of the For School page, you'll find that there are resources, products, and then about the company. Under resources, there's help and learning, certification courses, classroom resources, and frequently asked questions. If you click on the Help and Learning Center, this is where you end up. It has steps, videos, and print resources as well. This is what the classroom resources page looks like, and it has great ideas on how to use this program other than ways in which I'm using it. You'll want to scroll down on your resources page, and here's a getting started information, and then there's Master the Screencast. So that's if you're new to it, if you've never used it before. Really good resource. I get really impatient with videos. I guess I'm as bad as the kids. But here's a link to written resources as well, and that was really valuable for me. This is my very first ScreenCastify video, posted on my new YouTube channel. So take a listen. Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the distributive property and equivalence. So your standard, you are going to use a distributive property to create equivalent expressions. So what is equivalence anyway? For something to be equivalent, it means that it has to be equal. So if you have 4 on one side of an equation and 2, so I think this was better. It allows my students to see me, and I hope they'll be more interested. We all have these individual nuances, and they're used to that. So that's my hope. I think that our students really do want to see us, and as awkward as it may be for you to be talking to yourself, I think it makes a difference in their engagement. I think this is better, but even this wasn't getting the student attention that I wanted. I had 12 students watch the video on YouTube out of the 20 who are actively participating. So I'm back to racking my brains. I had an epiphany the other day that I could use my own videos in EdPuzzle, therefore requiring my students to watch them instead of just posting them. I love EdPuzzle, and I've been using it for quite a while. I believe there is a presentation on EdPuzzle if you're unfamiliar with it. But here, however, is a link to my final product, which is in EdPuzzle. Finally, editing. I doubt anyone has ever made a perfect video. So thankfully, ScreenCastify has its own editing. I also use WeVideo because I'm familiar with it. But I think since it's an MP4 file, that you can use any video editing software that you are familiar with. And finally, I think we have more resources than we could ever possibly use in a lifetime. It's important to use what works for you. It can be a lot or a little, and I do think everyone needs to start small. If you have any questions, or if you'd like me to walk you through individually what you'd like to do with ScreenCastify or EdPuzzle or YouTube, please feel free to email me or call me. My phone number is 805-588-4215. Please stay safe and stay healthy.